Starting this video at the end of the last video, so I guess this is the beginning of a new video. I'm taking a few minutes to mess with this thing while wifey's actually in the backyard doing some yard repair stuff, getting ready because we are going to be building a deck back there. Little guys in the house passed out, kids are just doing what they need to do, and where did we leave off? With a failure. So I did end up having a couple tacks break on the mounts, ended up having to mess with some stuff, and so this video we're just gonna go ahead and pull a bunch of stuff back, which is gonna be a backtrack, yeah, but once we've backtracked and we've gotten to where we want to be, we're going to start putting it back together. So what are we doing today? Pulling it all back apart. K30 crew cab with a coilover swapped Super Duty front axle and the notorious LB7 engine. You notice I actually have a bunch of stuff done that was not done in the last video, but we'll talk about that obviously once we get the coils out. I did throw in some little braces which are coming up and catching the back of the coilovers at the opposite angle if they wanted to tilt. It's helping a little bit, but I need to go through and final weld everything, make sure it's all sturdy before I can actually trust the weight is going to sit where it needs to sit. I do need this harness to be on the other side of this coil anyways. I want trim a little more space, need to trim this little spot where I had to bend it a little bit. Bunch of little things, but instead of rambling on and on and on like we usually do, let's get some work done. Average Joe build style, which just means a time lapse and some crappy music. So, coils out of the truck, quick and easy. So we can check out and see what we did mount-wise real quick. Like I was saying, I did get this to land on the corner, and it's coming up at an angle, catching the tube. Can't really get the camera up there, but this one, it's great because it lands where this intersection was. So it's taking the load off of the split and the splice. All the load is distributed onto basically the precision kit. Because of how it bolts in and comes up and comes underneath the C, it can't collapse the C now. I wanted to actually put a piece of plate on the inside, but with the LB7, if we can get under here, the LB7 oil filter, I can't because it sticks past the frame rail. So I did shove a piece of the tube up there and connected the C that way. So it can't try to collapse the C. On the other side, didn't have to really deal with that as much because one, this one landed more on the corner, so it's not going to fold the C down with it being on the corner, and I could actually weld this one all the way around because I had the space. Same with this. Between the two bolts, I can still get a nice socket or ratchet wrench on both of them, catches the load from the precision kit, comes up, catches where that guy sits. And this one didn't have a splice because I left it low. We have our little tower, that kind of fits the vibe. I do want to weld up the inside of this because I did weld this side, but I have to weld the insides of the corners because I just did the outsides. But then we can see up here, we gotta weld the bottoms of the tube clamps still. I didn't do that because coilovers were in the way, didn't want to mess the coilovers up at all. Now we can actually see the brace I did on the front, tube clamp in the center, comes over, so that's catching the face of the tube towers from leaning in, and then the little supports are in the back. Like I said, just a bunch of welding, get a bunch of that stuff out, and then we can set the wheels down. Set it on the wheels. So get a bunch of this welding done, and then we can set it down on its own weight, see what it looks like, roll it backwards, enjoy it. I don't know. This will probably be a short video, no 20-30 minute one like usual. I just want to get the truck down on its own weight and check it out. Push it around a little bit, see how it looks. I still need to do brake lines, drive line, and then wire the truck, and that's it, and we can drive it. Theoretically, I don't need to put the painless harness in to start it, put it in gear and stuff, so we could test drive it with just brake lines and a drive line. That's pretty crazy to say. I don't know about you guys, the last eight months now it's been with this build. It's just went in a little over my head on this one without realizing it. And I'm not mad, but man, has this been difficult. With that, let's get this going. Weld some stuff out, get some stuff finalized, and be ready to see what she looks like. I see you on the other side of that. I think he thinks he's a dog today, but I don't know where I left off in the last clip. I did finish weld the front tube, I did finish weld these ones, and I got the shock tabs done on one side, inside and out. Got the bottoms done. I have all of this done as much as I want. Actually, I still want to come up and try and catch the insides, but I'll just probably do that off camera. It's not something I need to do. Wife needed a Home Depot trip, which is perfect because it allowed me to get some primer, which is funny because I actually got primer, and then I got just flat black paint and primer combo, so I probably didn't need the primer to begin with, but just gonna flat black the tubes for now. But before I do that, I have to weld this side out. I like to cheat to keep my brackets from, you know, opening up or scissoring in, and I just throw in a nice piece, and then obviously finger tighten the nut so it's holding everything in place. And now I got that one all done. I think I'm gonna try and come through and get some of this welded, actually, where I had just not finished welding the dueling design frame plates in. And there's actually, if you notice, a bunch of miscellaneous clean spots now, because I'm gonna just weld everything everywhere where I left little, you know, because my initial plan at first was to like stitch everything, go through, you know, little 1-inch, try and make it look good, but not. After seeing like Willamette Fab and a bunch of other people like that, he TIG welded the entirety of his. God, I wish I could have done that. That would have looked so much better. But then I can get the harness up and into the inner fender. Still need to trim this, and then yeah, I think once it's all trimmed and everything, we can actually get the paint on it, get the coils back in, and see where everything, I don't know, lands, sits, does what it wants. Threw a lug nut on each of the sides of the rotor, and then did a front to back measurement to try and get the toe set. The toe is like within a 1/16 of an inch now, and then I cheated and used a really long level clamped to the edge of the rotor and followed it back to my pinch weld to kind of get an idea of how close I was to being centered on the diff to the body. And there's a definite like 1/4 inch discrepancy where I'm closer to the driver's side than I am the passenger side, but the drive shaft's not going to care, the wheel gap doesn't care, and I don't care. So let's get some welding, get some paint, and possibly coilovers. I don't know about you guys, but I really want to see my truck on the ground. More work, less talk. Crappy B-roll featured here only on Average Joe Builds, but hey, they're done. They're welded up. Got a couple of the mount spots welded up. I'm pretty happy actually with those beads. I'm not really happy with that one actually. I'm gonna grind that one out and clean that one, but that one I'm stoked on. Gotta go through and weld all those the rest of the way, but this is just about getting the front done, getting the weight back down, setting it down, seeing how the wheels look, seeing how the stance is for once. Before I bother with all that though, we gotta throw some paint on all this. Can't have a bunch of rusty metal just sitting everywhere. I really like how it's turning out. Obviously there's a little bit of a, you know, space problem that's going on, but I've taken 4-inch tube and I've checked, and I can still fit a 4-inch tube over here. I mean, worst case I could weld a tab off this to hold it too, so we'll figure that out. Maybe it doesn't go there. I really like the idea though of having the intake over by the blower motor. especially since at some point the Vintage Air or Auto, what is the other one? American Auto Air or something like that, since that will give me a flat firewall. Gonna do some fun here and figure out, I don't know, how am I gonna get this plastic, how am I gonna get this all, you know, I don't want overspray on every single thing, especially flat black. So yeah, let's YouTube magic some plastic into this. Works something like that, I think. Yeah, I don't know, YouTube magic. Look at it, we have plastic. And I know a bunch of people are thinking, you're gonna get, no, this is just we need to get some paint down. At some point, I'm assuming something breaks and parts get removed and I have to fix stuff, and when that time comes, we can get to the rest of the spots we couldn't paint. For now, it's no show truck. I mean, you think that's a show truck? You think those are show dents? I don't think so. This thing is gonna get used and abused. It's gonna just wait. The things I have planned for Big Blue, oh boy. Why do you need a race car when you have a Duramax swapped k30 crew cab? Exactly. So with that, set up time lapse, get some paint going, and then see about coilovers. I don't know, we'll find out. Now, paint, paint, paint. Let's get some paint. Setting up here, nothing fancy, it's flat black. The stuff with the primer in it though, this Bauer, whatever you want to call it. It's Bear, right? Yeah, Bear matte black. Dude, this was like $5 a can. This stuff is money. I have used stuff that is like 20 bucks a can and with way less of a result. Couldn't think of that because I'm kind of distracted by how hot my old lady is back there tilling and just doing yard work. So yeah, gonna pull off the plastic. Trying to think.
A few moments later.
So yeah, now that I'm not distracted by her trying to be hot back there and, you know, doing her stuff, I'm going to pull the plastic off, and I think we put the coilovers back in. Put the wheels back on? It's a temporary wheels back on thing because I just want to roll the truck back, check out the stance, see how it sits, make sure everything's still cool for my drive shaft measurement, which I could then drop off the drive shaft tomorrow, have the drive shaft made. Mainly I just want to see how the truck sits. Roll the truck backwards, sit in it, go vroom vroom, make some vroom vroom noises because I miss my truck so much. It's starting to slowly get to where I think what I want. Man, I hope after all this work it drives good. Watch, it's gonna drive all dog-legged down the freeway or some shit like that, and who's ready to part out, right? Who's ready for a part out? I'm rambling now because I'm all nervous, realizing it's put the coilovers back on and then yeah, set it on the ground and see what happens. I guess let's pull all this plastic off. I am gonna see, I know on this side the plastic is covering some spots that I can't really access with the plastic there. So I'll probably pull the plastic off and go back to my cardboard, you know, little safety shield, so I'm not getting a bunch of overspray everywhere. But I guess another time lapse, see it with it on the ground. I'm so nervous now. Last time this happened, set it on the ground, there was a loud ping ping, and it basically tried to break off all the tack welds and throw the towers out. I didn't realize how much weight actually there was on the front end and how much more I was gonna have to gusset it than I did. But hey, we got some gussets in. We got what we needed. Let's see this thing on the ground. Take that next step forward. you could get an award for crappy B-roll, because I should, but I don't know what to really say. I mean, what do you guys think? It's sitting pretty decent. It might have a slight squat to it, a little bit. I don't know, I measured the back and there's like an inch difference. Not enough for me to really care about, but we'll figure it out. I can't stop staring. Everything is slowly looking the part and actually starting to, I don't know, work, fit the vibe. We're not going to talk about suspension travel numbers really, because I'm not a 4x4 guy, and I clearly did not do the measuring I thought I was supposed to do to get and we'll just say that I got a lot of droop, not so much up travel, like 4 inches up travel, like a lot, like 10 and 9 inches of down travel, something like that, 8 inches. It's well, whatever. This is gonna be more of the tow truck burnout truck. I am just stoked to see it sitting on all 4. I mean, everything is looking pretty good. Both coils kind of have the same angle back, and then on the front everything seems, I don't know, seems pretty square to me. It doesn't, it's hard to get like the right angle where it looks, that's about it. It's about straight on. A little bit of alignment I did, looks okay. It rolls backwards really easy, and it rolls forwards pretty easy, so like I said though, this is permanent. This isn't permanent. I'm gonna have to take the front wheels back off to have the brake rotors turned, and if they're too small to be turned down any further, then I'll have to buy new ones, which will suck. But I have brand new calipers, brand new pads, I have brake lines, I have all that sitting there, so we got to get the front brakes done. I just have to make 2 quick lines. I have a bunch of NICOP just sitting waiting. I have all my brake line tools and everything, and it's really make a new front and rear line that come down, and you know, somehow grab the proportioning valve that's right down there. I just didn't want to use the stock ones that are all twisty windy, so I'm laying over here so I can snag some fittings off of them. But yeah, I don't want those. You notice the exhaust is missing, just the tip is left, and then the last bit, just the tip, just like they all like. But I did throw a little bit of exhaust on there. It is just a simple over cross member, goes from 3-inch to 5-inch, and we have it stopping right there for now. I'll figure the over axle out part. I just wanted to have the exhaust done so it's not dumping straight down. I'm so tired. I'm so glad nothing bent. I just needed all those extra supports. That was a big hassle there. But with that, I think today is going to be a shorty video of just me admiring everything. Still can get my finger through here, which means that didn't move. And I don't know about you guys, I like the Bilstein reservoirs being there. You can actually read them with them flipped the correct way, which is pretty cool. This one may end up trimming this upper portion slightly. Let's see. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I don't want it to be an obstruction to the radiator hose, but I don't want it to sit really different than the other one. Lots to do, never enough time. But hey, look, it didn't break and fall apart this time. I'm just stoked. And with that though, I'm letting you guys go. Enjoy your weekend, it's Sunday, and I'm gonna go help the wife now with her truck in the backyard stuff, which is just a whole nother fiasco. Neighbors. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see. No, if you don't, I don't really care. I'm out of here. Average Joe Builds.